Greetings, global citizens and travel aficionados, and a huge welcome back to World Travellingz. Your trusted guide, Shibnath, is here to pull back the curtain on a destination that doesn't just sit on the map. It pulsates with a life force all its own. Today, we are immersing ourselves completely in Porto, Portugal's northern powerhouse. Forget everything you've heard about it being a second city. Porto is the gritty, beautiful, and triumphant soul of Portugal, a city that has shaped history and continues to captivate hearts with its unapologetic authenticity. This isn't just a travel video, it's an odyssey. We will traverse its iconic bridges, lose ourselves in its tangled alleys, savor its world-renowned wine, and uncover the stories etched into its very stones. So, settle in, perhaps with a glass of something fine beside you, as we embark on a journey to uncover the many layers of the magnificent Porto. First impressions, the grand entrance of the City of Bridges. Your introduction to Porto is a dramatic one. Whether you arrive by train into the awe-inspiring São Bento station or by road, the city reveals itself in layers. But the quintessential hello is reserved for the Dom Luís Bridge. This double-decker iron behemoth, often mistakenly attributed to Gustav Eiffel himself, is more than a crossing. It's the symbol of Porto's industrial might and artistic ambition. Walking across the upper level, with the metro trains whizzing by, is a rite of passage. The panorama from here is breathtaking. To the east, the Douro River carves its way through the city, flanked by the terracotta-roofed, pastel-hued houses of the Ribeira district, stacked upon each other like a painter's dream. To the west, the river meets the vast, open Atlantic at Foz do Douro. And lining the south bank are the venerable port wine lodges of Vila Nova de Gaia, their names, tailors, sandmen, grams, spelled out on giant signs, promising the nectar within. But the Dom Luís is just the star of a grand ensemble. This is the Cidade dos Pontes. A Douro River cruise is essential to appreciate this family of structures. You'll glide under the elegant, single-track, Maria Pia Bridge, an earlier and more delicate Eiffel creation. You'll marvel at the immense concrete arch of the Arrabida Bridge, and pass by the more modern São João and Infante bridges. Each represents an era, a chapter in Porto's ongoing story of connection and progress. As the sun begins its descent, casting a golden glow over the city, these bridges become silhouettes in a masterpiece. A moment that will be seared into your memory forever. The historic heart, a labyrinth of stories in the Ribeira district. Descend from the bridge into the Ribeira district, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the ancient core of Porto. This isn't a sanitized historic quarter, it's a living, breathing organism. The air is thick with the scent of grilling fish, the sound of chattering locals, and the melancholic strains of fado music drifting from a nearby tavern. The Cais de Ribeira, the riverfront promenade, is the vibrant, beating heart of this area. Its cobblestones are worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. Restaurants with checkered tablecloths and vibrant umbrellas compete for your attention, their menus boasting fresh sardines, octopi salad, and the city's famed tripas. But the real magic lies in getting lost in the labyrinthine alleyways that climb steeply away from the river. Here, you'll find hidden squares like Largo das Cardosas, buildings adorned with wrought iron balconies laden with drying laundry, and small chapels whispering tales of faith. Look up at the azulejo-clad facades, their tiles telling silent stories of the families within. The Ribeira is a photographer's paradise and a traveler's dream, a place where every corner holds a potential discovery. The Liquid Gold, a pilgrimage to the port wine lodges of Gaia. Cross the lower level of the Dom Luís Bridge, and you enter Vila Nova de Gaia, or simply Gaia. While politically a separate city, it is spiritually and economically intertwined with Porto. This is the hallowed ground of port wine, the fortified wine that put the city on the global map. The hills of Gaia are a landscape of caves, belonging to legendary houses. A tour here is not just a tasting, it's a cultural and historical immersion. I highly recommend visiting at least two to appreciate the different styles and atmospheres. For a comprehensive, classic experience, Taylor's is an excellent choice. Their self-guided audio tour is superb, leading you through sprawling, cool cellars where the air is thick with the scent of oak and aging wine. You'll learn about the intricate process, from the hardy grape varieties grown in the schistous soil of the Douro Valley, to the fortification with grape brandy that stops fermentation, leaving residual sugar and boosting the alcohol content. You'll see the massive oak vats used for ruby ports and the smaller pipes where tawny ports slowly mature, gaining their characteristic nutty, caramel complexity. The tour concludes with a tasting of two very different ports, an education for your palate. For a more intimate and premium experience, head to Graham's Lodge. Perched high on the hill, it offers arguably the best views of Porto. Their tours are guided by experts, and the tasting feels more exclusive. Afterwards, book a table at their restaurant, Vinum, for a meal that expertly pairs Portuguese cuisine with their superb wines. As dusk settles, there is no finer way to end a day in Porto than sitting on a terrace in Gaia, glass of a 20-year-old tawny in hand, watching the city lights begin to twinkle like stars across the Douro. It's a moment of pure, unadulterated magic. Architectural wonders, from soaring towers to enchanted bookshops. Porto's skyline is a narrative of its past, written in stone, tile, and iron. Two structures, in particular, demand your attention. First, the Igreja e Torre dos Clérigos Church and Tower. This 18th-century Baroque marvel, designed by the Italian architect Niccolò Nasoni, is the city's most recognizable landmark. The church interior is ornate, but the true challenge and reward lie in conquering the 240 steps of the Torre dos Clérigos. The spiral staircase is narrow and steep, but the 360-degree view from the summit is the definitive portrait of Porto. You'll see the patchwork of rooftops, the serpentine Douro, the sprawling city, and the distant ocean. It's the best €6 you will spend in Porto. A short, but uphill, walk away is a sight that transcends mere architecture, the Livraria Lello bookshop. Frequently cited as one of the most beautiful bookshops in the world, its connection to J.K. Rowling, who lived in Porto in the early 1990s, has made it a place of pilgrimage. The neo-Gothic facade is a prelude to the wonder within. The interior is a fantasy of carved wood, a stunning, crimson, twisting staircase that appears to defy gravity, and a magnificent stained glass skylight bearing the shop's monogram, flooding the space with ethereal light. The popularity means you must book a timed ticket online in advance, around €5, often deductible from a book purchase. While crowded, it remains a temple to art and literature, a place that reminds us of the magic that human hands can create. A tapestry in tile, the narrative art of azulejos. One cannot speak of Porto's aesthetics without celebrating the azulejo. These painted, tin-glazed ceramic tiles are not mere decoration, they are a national art form, used to insulate buildings, tell stories, and beautify public spaces. The most famous example is the side wall of the Igreja do Carmo Church. A massive, 1912 tile panel by Silvestre Silvestri depicts scenes from the foundation of the Carmelite order, a breathtaking blue and white masterpiece that covers the entire lateral facade, making for an incredible photo opportunity. However, the grandest and most historically significant display is inside the São Bento railway station. Do not be deceived by its relatively plain exterior. Step into the main vestibule, and you will be struck dumb with wonder. Around 20,000 azulejos, painted by Jorge Colico in the early 20th century, chronicle pivotal moments in Portugal's history. You'll see depictions of the Battle of Valdevez, the marriage of King João I and Philippa of Lancaster, and the conquest of Ceuta in North Africa. The level of detail is staggering. It is, without a doubt, one of the most beautiful and meaningful train stations on Earth. A culinary odyssey, from gut-busting sandwiches to ocean-fresh seafood. Portuguese cuisine is a highlight of any visit, and Porto offers its own unique, hearty specialties. Let's begin with the city's legendary culinary heavyweight, the francesinha. Meaning, little Frenchy, in a delightful act of misdirection, this sandwich is a monument to indulgence. Imagine layers of bread, ham, fresh sausage, linguica, smoked sausage, and steak, all blanketed in a thick layer of melted cheese and then drowned in a hot, slightly spicy, and uniquely flavored tomato and beer sauce. It's typically served with a fried egg on top and a mote of crispy fries. It's a meal that requires a strategic plan and a subsequent nap. For the authentic experience, join the locals at Café Santiago or Brasseio Cervejaria. For a more refined seafood experience, venture away from the Ribera tourist traps to a traditional Tosca or Cervejaria beer hall. Grilled sea bass, salt-baked cod, bacalhau, and octopus rice are staples. The Mercado do Bolheio is a fantastic place to sample the freshest flavors. Ah, the Mercado do Bolheio. This historic market, recently restored to its 19th century glory, is a theater of daily life. Upstairs, fishmongers loudly hawk their daily catch, butchers expertly carve, and fruit vendors arrange their produce in colorful pyramids. The energy is infectious. Downstairs, the new food hall allows you to taste your way through Porto. Grab a glass of crisp, slightly effervescent Vinho Verde, green wine, with some briny oysters, or sink your teeth into a succulent bifana, marinated pork sandwich. And for the sweet tooth, the pastel de nata, while a Lisbon creation, is perfected in Porto's bakeries. The contrast of the flaky, buttery pastry with the warm, creamy custard center, dusted with cinnamon and powdered sugar, is a small piece of heaven. Nata sweet nata, or the legendary Confeitaria do Bolheio, are perfect spots to indulge. Beyond the core, discovering Porto's other personalities. To truly know Porto, you must explore beyond its historic center. Foz do Douro, where the river kisses the ocean, Foz offers a more sophisticated, leisurely pace. Stroll along the Avenida do Brasil and Pergola de Foz, a beautiful seaside promenade. Watch the powerful Atlantic waves crash against the fortifications of the Castelo do Queijo, Cheese Castle, and enjoy a coffee at one of the many elegant esplanades. It's the perfect place for a sunset walk. The Serralves Museum and Villa, for a complete change of scenery, visit this world-class institution. The museum itself is a masterpiece of contemporary architecture, hosting cutting-edge exhibitions. The grounds, however, are the real treasure, encompassing the stunning pink Serralves Villa, a prime example of Art Deco style, and vast, beautifully manicured gardens that are a peaceful refuge from the city's buzz. The Crystal Palace Gardens, Jardins do Palácio de Cristal perched on a cliffside, these romantic gardens offer yet another spectacular viewpoint of the Douro and its bridges. It's a lovely place for a picnic, with peacocks strutting freely through the grounds. A day trip to the source, the Douro Valley. If your schedule allows, a day trip to the Douro Valley is an unforgettable investment. This is the birthplace of port wine, a UNESCO World Heritage landscape of almost unimaginable beauty. Terraced vineyards cascade down impossibly steep hillsides to the river below, creating a breathtaking patchwork of green and schist. You can reach the valley by a scenic train ride from São Bento station, but the best way to appreciate its scale is by boat or car. Taking a river cruise from Porto into the heart of the valley is an all-day affair but offers unparalleled perspectives. Alternatively, join a guided tour that visits a quinta wine estate. Standing in a vineyard, tasting a vintage port while looking out over the very land that produced it, is a profound experience that connects you directly to the soul of this region. The unseen Porto, the spirit of the Portuense. What truly etches Porto into your soul is its people, the Portuenses. They are known for their resilience, their hardworking nature, and a dry, pragmatic wit. They are proud of their city, its history of invincibility, hence the title, Cidade Invicta, and its working-class roots. This authenticity is palpable. You'll find it in the gruff but warm service at a local Tosca, in the passionate debates in a neighborhood square, and in the genuine pride with which a shopkeeper might explain his crafts. There's a tangible sense of community here, a respect for tradition, that coexists with a burgeoning creative scene in neighborhoods like Miguel Bombarda, with its art galleries, and the trendy Cita Fita street with its independent boutiques. By night, the energy shifts to the Galeries de Paris and Rua de Galeria de Paris, where bars spill onto the streets, creating a vibrant, youthful nightlife. The indelible mark of Porto, Porto is a city of beautiful contrasts. It is the grandeur of its bridges and the humble charm of its tiled walls. It is the sweet, simple pleasure of a warm pastel de nata and the complex, bold statement of a francesinha. It is the ancient, soulful lament of Fado and the modern, electric buzz of a new art district. It asks you to engage with it, to walk its demanding hills, to explore its hidden alleys, to sit in silence by its river, and to raise a glass in celebration with strangers who feel like friends. It doesn't just give you souvenirs, it gives you a feeling of having connected with a place that is raw, genuine, and profoundly beautiful. So, to the incredible community of world Travellingz, move Porto to the very top of your list. It is more than a destination, it is an experience that will resonate within you long after you've returned home. Until our next adventure, this is your host, Shibnath, signing off from the unforgettable, invincible city of Porto. Keep exploring, keep your curiosity alive, and remember, the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a journey with World Travellingz. Saudicos from Portugal. Thanks for watching.